So you've heard people say stuff like, "Omo, abroad life no easy. Oh. Every day na bills, 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 bills." Have you ever wondered why people make such comments? In today's video, I'll be talking about the cost of living here in Calgary, Alberta, where I live. If you'll be planning to relocate in the future, or wherever you'll be planning to go, this video is going to serve as a guide, and it's going to give you an insight as to what we residents here face on a month-to-month basis. Stay tuned. Hello everyone, it's been a while. If you're new to this channel, I welcome you. My name is Toby Erinle and I make videos like this talking about life here in Canada. If you plan to relocate, if you plan to come to Canada anytime in the future, this channel is right for you. Please subscribe to my channel and then turn on the notification icon so you don't miss any of the videos I make. Most of these videos I make, I'm glad to announce to you guys, like, people watch these videos and they give me feedback, they reach out to me, and this year alone I know about 5 families so far that are coming to Canada. They are relocating, they japa, they are coming to Canada this year. It makes me so happy. While I know not all of them are going to choose Calgary where I am, but the fact that, you know, like they've seen their dreams come to pass, it gives me so much joy. Based on popular demand, today I'll be sharing with you the cost of living here in Calgary, and I'll be using my own personal examples. One of the major questions newcomers and people aspiring to come to Canada usually ask, one of the questions they want to have an answer to is it possible to survive on minimum wage when you live here? As this video progresses, if you stay tuned, you get an answer to that. The minimum wage in Alberta currently sits at $15 per hour. So for every hour you work, you get $15. And so if you work 8 hours a day or say 40 hours a week, because here in Canada, we are usually paid bi-weekly. Every 2 weeks, you're going to get, on a minimum wage, every 2 weeks, you're going to get about $1,011.75, something like that. That's after you pay your taxes. So on a monthly basis, you'll be looking at around $2,192. So while $2,192 might sound huge, it sounds like a lot of money, especially if you convert it to Naira. Is it actually a lot of money? We'll get to find out as the video progresses. So I'll break down the monthly average expenses that you'll be faced with if you're living in this city. At the end of the video, we'll do the addition and then we'll get to know how much you actually need on a month-to-month basis to survive in this city. Please note, however, that this is for Calgary. You'll be faced with the different challenges if you live in other provinces such as Saskatchewan, Manitoba. Is Manitoba or Winnipeg? Manitoba, Winnipeg. I don't know. Manitoba is the province, I think. Winnipeg is the capital. I'm not sure, whatever it is. And if you live in other places like Ontario, Newfoundland, Nova Scotia, British Columbia, if you live in all those other provinces, you'll be faced with different, the cost of living is going to be different from here in Alberta. But at the end of the day, you're going to have an idea, and that is the essence of this video, for you to have an idea so you can plan if you intend coming here in the future. So I'm going to start with the elephant in the room. The number one thing that will take the most of your money every month is going to be your rent. Yeah, the rent is huge. Rent, everyone needs a place to live, everyone needs a place to stay, so rent is going to be the number one thing. The average cost of a 1-bedroom in Calgary right now currently sits at $1,750. So if you're going to get a 1-bedroom in an okay space, 1 bedroom, 1 bathroom, you should be looking at $1,750. That's the average. And then for 2-bedroom right now in 2023, the average sits at $2,150, something like that, or $2,200. That's the cost of an average 2-bedroom. These are totally different from when I came to Canada. When I came to Canada, an average for a 2-bedroom was around $1,100. So things have changed within the last 3 years, and it gets so difficult right now for newcomers to, you know, get a place to rent. But that doesn't make it impossible. There are ways actually in which you can get cheaper places to rent. There are ways to get by this problem. One way is to maybe rent a basement. Maybe you rent from a friend, or maybe you rent from a family member. You know, if you have a friend or a family member that have a house and then they have a basement, you could rent that and pay cheaper. There are basements that would go for $1,400, $1,500, $1,600. So if you know that 2,000 mark is too high for you, the option you might be having might be looking at like getting a good basement, well-developed one in a very good area, and then you might be able to save some money in terms of rent. So for this example, let's say you're able to get a 2-bedroom apartment, a good one and you're going to spend 1,800 for that. So I'll put this at 1,800 for rent. So the good thing about renting apartments is the fact that when you rent an apartment, most of the utilities are already covered for you. Like, you don't have to bother about water. In most cases, you don't have to bother about trash disposal. You don't have to bother about heat. These are very, very important. But like when you live in condo apartment, these things are already taken care of by the management. In most condo apartments, you're only paying for your electricity and maybe your internet and stuff. So the next I'll be talking about is electricity. Electricity is really huge too, but in an apartment, 2-bedroom apartment, it's going to be something around $70 depending on how much electricity you use. You try to save electricity. I remember when we moved to our apartment, our first apartment, I had to remove all the bulbs that the landlord put, and then I put energy saving bulbs, LEDs, and immediately I saw a $10 decrease in my monthly electricity bills. So if you live in a place where the appliances are newer, you should pay lesser for electricity because the newer appliances are more energy efficient. The next I'll be talking about will be mobile data and home internet. I mean, data is huge. As a newcomer, you need data for almost everything. You need data to go around Google Maps. You need data to stay connected with family. You need data to look for jobs. You need data to entertain yourself. So it's just more like part of your rent. It's more like the oxygen we breathe, because like this is a country that depends heavily on electricity and on data. So you always need to stay connected so you're not left out. For mobile data, if you're a couple, like for me and my wife, I remember like we pay somewhere around $80 for 2 lines, and and for the home internet we pay somewhere around $80. So I'm putting this at $160 for both home internet and mobile data, and they are different here. So home internet is like your modem that is going to stay in your house. This is what you're going to use to like stream or like connect to your phone whenever you're at home. Mobile internet is the one that is on your SIM card, which is in your phone, and this is the one that you use while your mobile internet while you're on the road when you're mobile. So that's the difference. And I think Canada has the most expensive mobile data in the world, because imagine paying like $40, $50 every month for data. And the data I'm talking about here, they're going to give maybe 10 gigabytes or maybe 5 gigabytes or something like that. So it's not even like it's a lot. Home internet at $80, something around there, between $80 and $100, you most likely get unlimited data, so you can stream whatever you want to stream and watch whatever you want to watch. The next thing I'll be talking about will be tenant insurance. Tenant insurance is a kind of coverage that covers you when you're renting a place in case of fire, in case of theft, in case of hail damage, in case of water damage and stuff like that. So most landlords are going to request from newcomers that, oh, before I can rent my place to you, you need some sort of tenant insurance. So you have to look for an insurance company that can cover you and stuff like that. I think usually it ranges between $20 and $30 every month, but for this example I'm going to say it's $25 per month, and that's average. The next thing I'll be talking about will be vehicle insurance. So I know most newcomers plan to buy a car upon landing, especially people who are coming with family. If you're coming with like kids, you don't want to be taking your kids out in the extreme cold, so you want to buy a car. So they come with money and then they buy a car upon landing and stuff. When you buy a car, as long as you come with the right documents from Nigeria, you should be looking at paying somewhere around $130 a month for insurance. That's if you come with your documents. When I say your documents, I mean your driver's abstract and your insurance documents from Nigeria to prove that you've been driving for a long time. If you come with those documents, you'll be able to get insurance cheaper. If you don't come with those documents, they'll think you're a new driver, and then you'll be looking at, rather than paying $140, you'll be looking at paying somewhere around $250 or $300 a month for insurance. So I advise, if you're coming, then you come with the documents, the right documents. I'm sure I mentioned this in one of my videos, and you'll be looking at paying somewhere around $130 a month. The next I'm going to talk about will be groceries. This is what takes the most money from your paycheck after rent. Everyone needs to eat. You need food, you need milk, you need bread, meat, toiletries, you need all that kind of stuff. So all that is under groceries, and an average Canadian family will go to the grocery store at least once a week. There's always something to buy. And this amount you spend on groceries will depend on whether you're single, you're coming in as a couple, or you're coming in with kids. The larger the size of your family, the more money you're going to spend on groceries. Like if you're kids are going to need diapers, and they're going to need wipes, and they're going to need new clothes. Everything is going to cost more. So for groceries, I'm going to put it at $400 a month. Most people I know go to the grocery stores bi-weekly. When they get their paycheck, they go every 2 weeks. But unlike Nigeria, it's impossible for you to shop once a month here. You have to go like every week or every 2 weeks, because there are things you buy like milk, like cheese, like eggs. Those things have to be eaten quickly. If not, they're just going to get spots in your fridge. Things like yogurt, chicken, like you see, like they put the best before on them. You want to quickly consume them, and then so you can buy. So you buy them in small portions, and then you go back to buy, rather than buy a whole lot and then have half of them waste at the end of the day. So the next on my list is transportation, or gas, fuel. If you don't have a car, you would need to move around, and in moving around, you would need bus passes, tickets. Monthly bus passes in Calgary cost $112. So if you're a couple, you'll be looking at paying around $224 for bus pass for every month. While this sounds like a lot of money, it's almost the same amount you'll be paying if you own a car. So if you own an average 2.0 liter engine normal car, if you go to refill your car, you'll be looking at spending around $55 to $60. And at the end of the month, you'll be looking at spending like say $250, something like that, for just gas. So this is already higher than how much you'll be spending if you purchase 2 bus tickets. Also note that owning a car comes with added expenses like vehicle registration, servicing periodically, and stuff like that. So yeah, owning a car is more expensive, but it is very essential, especially in the cold weather. The next I'll talk about is streaming. Streaming, this one is very optional, but if you want to have something to entertain yourself with when you get back from work, and then you want to watch shows on Netflix, on Prime, on Disney, you'd have to pay for them. You have to pay. We currently pay for Netflix, Prime, and IPTV. So IPTV is what we use to watch our DSTV channels, and then Netflix and we used to watch shows. Prime, we have Prime because we buy stuff on Amazon. Streaming is optional, but if you want to have streaming services, I'm putting the average at around $25 a month. So when you add all this together, at the end of the month, it comes to $2,770 per month. And that's a lot of money. So if you remember at the beginning of the video, I told you if you work minimum wage, at the end of the month you're going to have $2,192, something around that. So you see that it's not possible to have a minimum wage job and live this kind of lifestyle. And this lifestyle is not like, you see, I didn't make any provision for miscellaneous or for savings or for if you want to eat out or you want to eat fast food and stuff like that. There is no enjoyment in this money. So this is like, I cut it to the barest minimum, and still yet you need 2,700 plus. So what most newcomers do is to work 2 jobs, or if you're coming in as a couple and both of you are able to get minimum wage jobs, that's going to be $30 per hour for your family, not 15, because both of you have minimum wage jobs. So it's going to be $30 per hour for your family. And with that, you have enough money, to do everything I've listed here. And then you even have extra to save. So from my estimation and my calculations, if you would want to live this lifestyle, if these are going to be your monthly expenses, then you will need a $20 per hour job, and you need to work for 40 hours a week. That's the only way it's going to work. Minimum. And the other way is what I have talked about, getting a second job, getting a weekend job, or maybe you and your wife or your partner, you guys work together and then you're able to pay the bills. Obviously, there are ways to reduce costs and monthly expenses, and part of it is what I have talked about at the beginning, getting a cheaper place to rent, maybe a basement. It's not going to be convenient, especially in the colder months. Like, basements are always very, very cold. That's why I advise people, like, if you're going to stay in a basement, don't stay in a basement for too long, because it could even affect your health. Cheaper ways to get a basement, or if you're coming in as a single, you could get a roommate, a flatmate, or you get someone you'd. And I think this is the best way to even save money. If you come into the city as a single, you come in unmarried, you could find someone who wants to share their rent. They have a place. If you check online, you always find people looking for roommates, for flatmates and stuff. So if the rent is going to be $1,800, both of you are going to pay $900 each, and then you have extra $900 in savings. and that will go a long way. You could start saving that money little by little to get your own place at the end of the day, something like that. Another way to save money would be to apply for cheaper bus passes. As newcomers, you're eligible to apply for government funding for, it's called fair entry for newcomers. So you apply for fair entry, and then they reduce the cost of your bus pass from $112. They reduce it to about $40 per person. So rather than paying $224 for 2 people, you're paying $80, something like that. There are always promos for newcomers too, with phone plans, home internet. They'll tell you for newcomers only and stuff, so you could take advantage of all that to reduce your monthly costs. At the end of the day, this is just to give you an idea, so you have an idea and you'll be able to picture it mentally, how much you're going to spend every month, so you'll be better prepared and better informed. Another thing I want to point out is if you're landing as a permanent resident and you have kids who are under the age of 18, you'll be eligible to get childcare benefits on each child you have, and childcare benefits could go as high as $500 per month. So the government pays you to take care of the children, something like that. At the earlier stages, when you maybe don't yet have a job, or maybe you have a minimum wage job, you're going to be getting a lot of money, say $500, $400. But as you get a job and then your family income starts to increase, the childcare benefit starts to go down. So that's how it works here. And also note that in all this, I didn't put the cost of daycare, and that was intentional because I know, at the beginning, my goal in making these videos just to try to see if it was possible for just one person to work. Like if you're coming as a family of 3, father, mother, and child, one person gets a job of $20 per hour, you'll be able to live this kind of life conveniently. Then when the second person gets the job and there is more money, then you guys can start to talk about childcare. But in the meantime, one person is going to stay with the child, one person is going to work, and something like that. It wasn't that I forgot. I think daycare would cost you somewhere around $600 ish, but that's after the government has given you a discount, because government is currently subsidizing it for us. The actual cost of daycare runs from $1,400 to about $1,900. So it's currently being subsidized for us. So you pay somewhere around $600 per child if they are under the kindergarten age. So once it's time for them to get to school, when they're about 5 years old and it's time for them to go to school, it's going to be your choice if you want to take them to a private school where you're going to pay school fees, or you want to take them to a publicly funded school, a government school where it's going to be free. It's not just about the money or whether it's free now. It's going to be like what quality of education do you want to give your kids. It's not like the public schools are bad, but when something is free, people don't appreciate it. So you meet all sorts of characters there. But compared to a paid school, no, only people who value education are going to send their children to a school where they are going to have to pay here, because education is free. All right, guys, thank you so much for watching my video today. I hope you learned a thing or two. I tried my best to make this short and not to elongate it in any way. Please reach out to me in the comment section and I'll be glad to answer you guys. And on this note, I want to say thank you all. And one last time, I want to remind you, if you're yet to subscribe to my channel, please hit the subscribe button right now, and also hit the notification icon so you don't miss any videos I make. Until next time, guys, see you all. Peace out. Bye.